Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the King of Weebs and this will be a new what if series I have been recommended to do. This is what if Naruto had the rinnegan, and I know many people have done this in the past. I will leave a link to the first person I watched who did this. His name is Anime X. He's a really good YouTuber. I really love his videos. He hasn't really been uploading for a while, but he did finish his series, and I want to try to do my own. So Naruto is born as per normal, and Hagoromo Otsutsuki, he knew Naruto was about to be born since he is his son's reincarnation, and he gave Naruto the rinnegan because he believed that Naruto was the child that will save this world from his mother Kaguya. So Naruto is born with the rinnegan, and everyone notices this, and especially Tobi, and which is Obito, and Obito wants to steal Naruto this time. So Obito not only unleashes the Nine Tails, but this time he's trying to run away with Naruto because he has the rinnegan, and he could just get the Nine Tails again a few days later. But Minato does not allow this and literally goes ham on Obito and has no mercy. But he doesn't have much time. He saves Naruto, he takes Kushina, and he seals the Nine Tails in Naruto as normal. So Naruto, this what if can go in two different ways. Naruto being loved by the villagers because of him having the rinnegan, and him and they would think he's the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths, or them hating Naruto because they think Naruto is even more of a monster for having the rinnegan because they don't know about the Sage of Six Paths. So I believe they would hate Naruto not only because of the Nine Tails, but especially because he has the rinnegan, and then he looks like a monster with those eyes. So Naruto is hated as usual, like his normal self. So we start on this what if just like the series starts off, like Naruto failing his exams 3 times in a row, 3 years in a row. So Naruto does fail, and Naruto is pretty much the same as the original, but he does study a lot because of the Sage of Six Paths giving him his eyes, and so since he has the eyes, he can learn things really quick. But since at the same time he does have Kurama inside of him, the Nine Tails, his chakra, he cannot tell which of his chakra and the Nine Tails chakra are his and the Nine Tails. So he cannot really do the clone jutsu, but so he fails on the day of the exam, and Mitsuki does tell him to steal the the scroll of sealing. So this happens as normal, but Naruto this time has a stronger shadow. He can learn things faster because of the rinnegan. So he not only learns the shadow clone jutsu, but he learns how to use he learns about the different chakra natures and how he could use them. So he does know that he can use wind release. So he tries a wind release technique called wind style wind gale palm. I know it's not a jonin type of ninjutsu, but I'd say it's still in the scroll of sealing. And he does learn about all the other chakra natures and how he could use them, but he doesn't know if he has them. He just tried one, and the first one he tried was one with the chakra nature he'd had. So Naruto quickly writes these down and memorizes a few, so he can try them at home. So one of them he writes down is the fireball fire style fireball jutsu, and the other one he only writes like 3. The other one is the water style, water shockwave, and lightning style, lightning stream, not Chidori stream, because he doesn't know the Chidori stream is much stronger than the lightning stream. The lightning stream is just him using his lightning style onto the water that he created with the with the water shockwave, and then he gets caught by Iruka and Mizuki, and Mizuki does try to kill Iruka, and he didn't know about the Nine Tails being inside of him. So then he gets really angry, and once Mitsuki throws the second shuriken at Iruka, Mitsuki says, "I'll finish you off right here, Iruka, so you don't get in my way." So in this what if, Mitsuki doesn't leave Iruka for last, but he leaves. He wants to kill Iruka just in case he gets in his way, because I never really understood why Mitsuki would leave Iruka for last when Mitsuki is more capable of getting in his way than Naruto is. So he tries to kill him, but Naruto, since he heard of the Nine Tails, he gets really angry and just uses the almighty push without knowing really what it was. And not only did he push the shuriken away, but he did push Iruka out of his way as well. And Naruto started running away. Naruto did the shadow clone jutsu and said and he did 1,000 shadow clones because he was already angry, and plus he has the rinnegan, so he has a lot more chakra. And the rinnegan, I'm pretty sure he gives you all 5 chakra natures, if I'm correct. Let me check that. Yes, I checked. It says that you can use all 5 chakra natures without exception, and you can even combine 2, like Madara combined lightning and water style together and use the jutsu, when it is said that Madara usually only has fire style. So it is confirmed that the rinnegan users have all 5 chakra natures, which really confuses me on why Nagato never really used any chakra natures and he only used the paths. But that's not what we're here for. You guys are all here for the what if. So now Naruto does pass, and he gets over that. He gets over it. He knows that now he has the Nine Tails, and he doesn't really care at this point because everyone hated him anyway. But so it doesn't matter. He just now knows why they hated him and doesn't really care. So the next day, Naruto goes to the academy and finds out his team. So since Naruto is still the dead last, yes, this time I am going to put him in Team 7 if still teammate, and replacing him instead of Kiba. Now Naruto is in his normal team with Sasuke and Sakura. Sakura heard Naruto and she was disgusted because she thought, why am I with this monster? That's what she says out loud. And then Iruka says, Sakura, never say that again, because Iruka doesn't want to hear people hurt Naruto. And because Iruka really likes Naruto, he's not against him. And then he says, and then your other teammate is Sasuke Uchiha, and Sasuke is intrigued by this because he knew Naruto had a dojutsu, but he doesn't really know what it does. But he's really intrigued by Naruto, so he doesn't really mind being with Naruto in this time. Even in the last time he didn't really mind. No, he did mind because he used to call him a loser. So Sakura is really happy and says, yes, I'm with Sasuke. But then she realizes that she's with Naruto, and Naruto here pretty much has no friends except for Choji and Shikamaru, because Choji and Shikamaru don't care what others say about Naruto. They just want to be his friend. They don't have an opinion about Naruto, if he's a monster, or he only because the adults hate him doesn't mean they should. And after this, everyone leaves with the team captain, and Team 7 is still in there waiting for Kakashi. Naruto decides to pull a prank on Kakashi, since Naruto is still the goofball and really is hated by everyone. He's basically the same Naruto, just with the rinnegan, but this what if will be really different. Naruto will learn different skills. So Kakashi arrives and says does fall for the prank purposely, and Sakura does let out a little laugh, but then realizes that Kakashi does didn't care about it and said, "You guys are boring." And they all go, and he takes them to the rooftop and asks them about their dreams. Naruto's dream here is really different. I know he is. I said it's the same Naruto. By that I meant the personality, not his dreams. Naruto said, "I want to know who my parents are and why they sealed the nine, and why I have the nine tails, and also I want to know why the tail beasts are hated." And the other Sakura and Sasuke's one are the same. I'm pretty sure you all know what it is, but if just in case someone forgot, Sakura just says, "Oh, my dream is to be with," and she looks with Sasuke, and she says in the future she wants to be, and she in the future, and then she looks at Sasuke and everything at Sasuke, and then Sasuke says, "Oh, I'm going to. My dream is not. I don't have a dream. My dream is going to become reality." And he says, "I'm going to avenge my clan and revive it." And he said, "I will kill a certain someone." Yeah, so I've told you what he said, and they all said. And Naruto went last, so Kakashi was really impressed. He wasn't really impressed. He was just he thought, how can a kid his age, at such a young age, be thinking like this? Because Kakashi knows how that a normal 12-year-old wouldn't be thinking like this, except unless he was someone like himself, because he did lose his father, and you know what happened to Kakashi. He lost his father because of the Leaf Village, and he always thought, "Oh, why do people break the rules? Why is this world so cool?" And that's how he thought of the those were his dreams, to understand why people broke the rules and why is the world so cool. And I believe those were his dreams when he was younger. And Naruto's dreams were really different. He never said he wants to become the Hokage, but after he said his dreams, he did mention that he wants to become the strongest ninja who ever lived. And Kakashi is really interested by Naruto and said maybe this one is not as boring as the other two. And he tells them about the test they're gonna have the next morning, and says, "Or you're going if you shouldn't eat breakfast, or you're going to puke." But this Naruto can feel that he can feel that Kakashi is lying and he's trying to trick them. So Naruto doesn't listen to him, and the next morning he goes late because he knows Kakashi is probably gonna be late like yesterday, and he does eat. So he arrives around noon, just like Kakashi, and Naruto and Kakashi notices that Naruto isn't hungry and is really like disappointed that he didn't fall for it. And so they start the exam, and Naruto this time basically attacks Kakashi, and fakes that he gets kicked into the bush, and then makes a shadow clone, and then the shadow clone goes to attack Kakashi. And that's when Naruto decides to make a plan and realizes that he will need help to be a Jonin, because Naruto does have that knowledge like, let's see, you know, the Sage of Six Paths, he's wise, right? So Naruto did get his eyes and a bit of his chakra, so he would be wiser in making decisions, except when he was a kid. Now that he knows that the nine tails inside of him, he's going to be more careful or cautious around other people, and he doesn't want to attract too much attention. So Naruto just goes and attacks him. I know that just contradicts what I just said. He's trying to grab Kakashi's attention, but that's because he needs to have enough time to tell his teammates that they need to work together. So Naruto can see what is happening in the fight, and he is kind of confused because he never really he doesn't understand how he can see what his clone is doing. And then maybe he comes to the conclusion maybe it's because of his eyes, and or maybe it's because of it's because of his eyes. He's like, oh, maybe it's because of my eyes, or maybe my eyes are connected with my clone's eyes. And Naruto decides to make more shadow clones, which come out that'd be big. So Naruto makes more shadow clones, and the clone Naruto makes more shadow clones to attack Kakashi. And Kakashi notices that Naruto is pretty good at taijutsu, but still has no finesse or skill. He's just throwing punches, and he says he's good at making shadow clones. Sorry, I said he notices he's good at making taijutsu. I meant he's good at making shadow clones, but realizes Naruto's taijutsu is lacking, and he's just throwing a flurry of punches. And Naruto now can see from different angles the angles of of his shadow clones. So Naruto now is understanding how Kakashi fights. He's more of a passive fighter, and he wants to see if Kakashi can be more aggressive, but he doesn't want to show his ninjutsu yet, because he with the rinnegan he does master the ninjutsus that he wrote down, the fireball jutsu, the water shockwave, and the lightning stream that needs the needs water to be stronger, because water is a lightning is a electric condenser. So Naruto is now Naruto now finds Sasuke and Sakura. He drags Sakura with him to find Sasuke, and then he tells his plan, but Sasuke says, I'm not gonna do it. And Sakura just says what Sasuke says, and she's like, I'm not doing it. And then Naruto says, so you guys really want to go back to the academy? And then Sasuke's like, what do you mean? I'm pretty sure I can take the bells on my own. And Naruto's like, my shadow clone just made 6 more shadow clones, and it's a 7v1, and they're still losing. And Sasuke's like, well, that's because you're weak, you loser. And Naruto said, please, Naruto eventually convinced Sasuke because of his persuading, and this is what Naruto came up with. Sasuke will come in after Naruto does his jutsus. After Naruto, basically, Naruto says he can make an opening. As soon as he sees an opening on Kakashi, he will have to jump him and start fighting with Naruto. So they have to work together. And Sasuke is like, okay. And then Naruto tells Sakura that you will stay near the. As soon as Sasuke comes out, you will stay near the tree line and start cheering on Sasuke. So Kakashi will think that you're just cheering on Sasuke and not doing anything. But then once Sasuke and me start fighting together, we will distract him, and you will try to you will go in the woods with my shadow clone, and my shadow clone will show you the way to go behind, go to the other side of the woods and come out the other side of the tree line. And then we will try to immobilize Kakashi, and you will try to snatch the bells off him, but you need to be fast. And Sakura says, okay, I'll try my best. So Naruto goes out and uses the shot. He makes a shadow clone before he goes, and tells Sasuke, "Oh, you go there, and my shadow clone will stay with Sakura." And Sasuke's like, "All right." So, and then tells Sakura, you better not let us down. And Sakura's like, "I won't let you down." And so Naruto goes out after, and as soon as his clones get beaten by Kakashi, and Kakashi gets his book back out because he was getting annoyed of the shadow clones just distracting his reading. So he closed his book and destroyed the shadow clones, and now he's opened his book again. And Naruto's like, do you really think I'm done? And Kakashi's like, I mean, if your shadow clones couldn't do anything, I'm sure that you can't do anything either. And Naruto's like, we'll see about that. And he says, water style, and Kakashi hears him say water style, and he's intrigued by Naruto because he knows water style. He knew that Kushina had water release, and he didn't really think too much of when he said water style. And Naruto said water shockwave, and Kakashi's eyes widen, and he says, how does he know an A rank jutsu? And then Naruto's like, I'm not done yet. Kakashi's feet get wet because Naruto's water shockwave wasn't to really scare off Kakashi into making an opening yet. It was the next move was meant to make an opening, and Sasuke thought to himself, what the hell's this Naruto couldn't even make an opening. It's his plan. His plan's not gonna work like this. And Naruto smirks, and Kakashi notices this, and is like, why are you smiling? And Naruto says, lightning style, lightning stream. And Kakashi is completely stunned by this, and he barely got out of it, or he was gonna get paralyzed, and it was gonna be an easy win for Naruto. And this is when Sasuke realized that's the opening, and Sasuke came in and just said fire style fireball jutsu, which Kakashi could barely dodge, could barely get out of, so he had to use a substitution jutsu, which he substitutes himself with a tree log. And then Sakura's like, yes Sasuke, let's go Sasuke, you're the best. And she starts cheering him on until Naruto and Sasuke start fighting together. At first he's not even fighting together, they're just getting in each other's way at first. Some punches, they're hitting each other while trying to hit Kashi, and he's like, their teamwork is not too good. And until a few, like 1 or 2 minutes later, after they got used to fighting together, Kakashi realizes he needs to put his book away and has to put more try a bit harder, because at this rate they might actually take the bells off of him. But he knows if he just tries a bit, he's good. And Kakashi starts fighting them off, and then right before he punches Naruto away, he realizes that Sakura's missing, and then he looks behind him to see Sakura taking the bells off of him. And then Naruto does a roundhouse kick to Kakashi's face, and then Sasuke just 360s into Kakashi and just kicks the top of his head with his the back of his foot. And Kakashi falls to the ground and realizes that he didn't take much damage, but then he realizes that they work together to get the bells. And then what I didn't tell you guys is that Naruto left a clone because he wanted. Then Naruto would the Naruto clone would tell Sakura to which at the specific time that she should go sneak up at Kakashi. So that's why he left the clone, because of the shared vision. So Naruto now has the confirmation that his shadow clones have a shared vision with him because of his eyes. And Kakashi is like, well done guys, you passed. And he said, he says, so so he tells Sakura, so Sakura, who do you want to give the other bell to? And Sakura says, I'll give it to Sasuke. And Naruto's like, okay, and Naruto's like, wow, so you're gonna give it to the person who literally followed my plan and didn't do anything. It didn't even come up with a plan. And then Sakura's like, and I'll give my one to Naruto because he made the plan. So Kakashi's like, well done, you all passed. And Sakura's like, wait, what? But I don't have a bell. And Kakashi's like, this wasn't about getting the bells, this was about teamwork. And I see that Naruto made the plan of you guys using teamwork, and you actually did it. So They all cheer. Sasuke doesn't really cheer. He just has a little. He just gives off a smile, and then they say, "Tomorrow we will start our missions." So now Naruto heads off to Ichiraku Ramen and asks Sakura, "Do you want to come with me?" And Sakura still doesn't like Naruto and still calls him a monster and says, "Only because you helped us pass, it doesn't mean I like you now." And Naruto's kind of disappointed at that because Naruto still has the crush on Sakura, but no, he's wiser than having a crush on Sakura. He had a crush on Sakura from the beginning of the academy till the 3rd year, but then in the 4th year he just midway the 3rd year he just gave up, and he realized that it's not wise to like someone like Sakura, especially because even if Sakura went out with him, it would be a toxic relationship because of her attitude towards him. And so Naruto goes out by himself and sees Choji, Shikamaru, Ino, and Asuma going out for barbecue, and realizes how lucky Choji and Shikamaru are to have to not be hated. But then he thinks that he realized that he shouldn't be jealous because Choji and Shikamaru are his friends, and he shouldn't be jealous of them because at least he has 2 people who actually like him. So Naruto's going to get some ramen, and he meets on his way there. He notices that someone's following him, and that is Hinata, of course. And Naruto runs up to Hinata, and Hinata's all red and says, "Hey Hinata, do you want to go and get a bite to eat?" And Hinata's like, "Are you sure you want to eat with me, Naruto-kun?" And Naruto's like, "Yeah, sure, it's not like anyone else wants to." So Naruto and Hinata go and get some ramen, and also and Ino notices them two walking together, and she thinks, maybe maybe Hinata likes that annoying Naruto. Ino doesn't really hate Naruto, she just finds him annoying, but she doesn't think of him as a monster because her father never really said anything about Naruto and anything bad about Naruto. In fact, her father said, "Oh, Naruto should be considered as a hero." One day, they were eating together as a family, and then his mother brings up the story of the Nine Tails, and says, I wonder what would have happened if the fourth Hokage was still alive." And then her dad's like, "Oh, even if he was alive, the real hero would be Naruto," since she doesn't know Naruto is the son of the fourth. But her father says, "Well, Naruto should have been," and well, then the fourth Hokage would have told everyone that Naruto is the real hero of the village because Naruto is the one who contained the Nine Tails. So she knows about Naruto's having the Nine Tails. She knew, but then Ino's mother's like, "Honey, you shouldn't be saying this in front of Ino. Remember, this is a secret, an S-rank secret." And then I know it sounds stupid for a Jonin to be doing this, but he was with his family, and he wasn't really paying attention to what he was saying, like he would when he's talking to the Hokage or someone like Naruto. And Ino asks, "So Naruto has the Nine Tails inside of him?" And Ino's like, and then Ino's dad's like, "Yeah, that's why everyone hates him, but it doesn't mean." But he tells Ino that he shouldn't tell anyone, and if he finds out Ino did tell anyone, he would just erase the memories with his mind transfer jutsu. He would somehow erase their memories. I'd say it's an S rank jutsu for Ino's clan. So now Naruto is with Hinata eating ramen until Iruka comes around and sees Naruto in there and says, "Oh, Naruto, so you're here too." And then Naruto's like, "And Hinata," and Iruka's pretty surprised that Hinata, the shy girl who he noticed that Hinata used to spy on Naruto, and now he sees that Hinata is eating ramen with him, and he's happy for Naruto for making a new friend. and so they all three eat together, and the end of the day comes. It's like the afternoon around 5 p.m. They did hang out. Naruto and Hinata hung out a bit, and Naruto said we should do this more often, and Hinata blushed and said, "You're right, Naruto." And so Naruto goes back to his home and starts sleeping, and so now Naruto is the next day comes, and now Naruto is getting ready to go head out. So he heads out, and he heads out pretty late because he knows Kakashi is gonna be late as always, even though he only seen him twice. But since of his wisdom, he does realize that Kakashi won't be earlier than he will. Since Kakashi told them to be there by 6 o'clock, he knows Kakashi won't be there earlier than 9 o'clock. So he wakes up at 8. He has a shower. He eats breakfast as in ramen, pot ramen, and he heads out at 8:40ish, and he has 20 minutes. So on his way there, he does see Hinata walking with her team to the Hokage's office and says hi to them. And Shino never really hated Naruto, and Kiba just really. Kiba is the second last in the. Was the second last in the academy, and he's like, oh, it's that failure. And Naruto doesn't really get pissed because he realizes that most people in the village hate him except for a handful of people. So Naruto heads there, and he arrives there just in time. He arrives there at the same time as Kakashi does. And Kakashi is like, well, I guess you're late too. And Naruto made up an excuse, and he's like, oh, I got lost in the path of life. And Kakashi is like, he is proud of Naruto. Is like, so my excuses have grown on you, and now you're making them. So I'm proud of you, Naruto. And they go in, and Naruto is like, Naruto was being sarcastic. No, he wasn't really being sarcastic. He just woke up at the time he wanted to. So they get their mission, and it's to find the cat. So Naruto makes shadow clones, and then he made 6 shadow clones on the top of the Hokage's office, and he said to go search for the cat. And Kakashi is like, how do you and then Kakashi is like, smart of you, Naruto. And Naruto's like, oh, I already found the cat. And then Kakashi is like, what do you do? And Naruto's like, me and my clones share visions. And Kakashi is intrigued by this, and he realizes this is probably an ability of the rinnegan, and he's going to tell the third Hokage. And Sakura's like, you're lying, until Naruto's like, oh, it's on this street, and my clone just got the cat. And the clone comes back and says, here's the cat. And so Naruto now they need a new mission, and they get another cat mission. And this time Naruto's like, you know what, I cannot be asked. I can't be bothered to do another shadow clone. I'm just gonna let my team do it this time. And Naruto says, hey guys, I did it the first time, now it's your turn. And Sasuke takes this as a challenge and an opportunity to show to Naruto that he's better than him. And he pretty much fails and can't find the cat until Naruto finds the cat again. Basically, he didn't even try. He basically looked to the right in the alleyway, which Sasuke didn't check, and he's like, oh, there's the cat. And Sasuke is really jealous of this, and the day ends. So Naruto now heads back home and takes a rest. So this continues for a full month, and Naruto does start training a bit. Sasuke starts training a lot because he's jealous of Naruto, and Sakura sees Sasuke train, so she starts training a bit, not too much. And Naruto just trains as usual because he realizes that these guys have powers that he still doesn't know about, because he remembers using a power. He pushed away Mizuki and Iruka Sensei just by looking at them, and then he has shade vision, so he tried to use the same power, and just out of nowhere he just says almighty push, and then just pushes a rock out of his way, a boulder out of his way, a boulder in the forest, and the boulder goes flying and basically breaks a tree. And Naruto says, "What did I just see? Almighty push!" And then he realizes that that might be the name of the jutsu he used against Mizuki. But he's like, "But I don't know how I know this name." And Naruto just like is thinking of this, and then he just says, "Oh, maybe it just came to my mind and I created that out of nowhere." But we all know Naruto said it because of and we know Naruto said it because of the wisdom he has inherited from the Sage of Six Paths, and he said Almighty Push because that's what he remembers from what the Sage of Six Paths has given him. So this will be it for part 1. It's been 35 minutes. So I have done the bell test, and now we are heading into the Land of Waves arc. So wait, let me so this part will end when Naruto decides to ask the third Hokage for a C rank mission, and then the third Hokage just gives it to them. So Tazuna walks in, and that's where I'm gonna end off. So for this what if to now I'm going to up my light goals because I need some rest, because yesterday I made so many what ifs. I barely slept. I slept around 3 a.m. just editing. I know it's not many what ifs, but for me it's a lot of editing. And so thank you for listening. For the next part to come out, I would like 5 likes for part 2 and 7 likes for part and 10 likes for part 2 and 3 to come out on the same day. If you can do it by today, I will do it by today, and that's less sleep for me since tomorrow I have online classes. So take care, thank you for listening, stay safe, and peace.